If you don't feel like choosing your PhD supervisor is a gamble, you need this video more than anyone else, because it means you haven't understood what stakes are on the table. As a PhD applicant, it's easy to feel small. They have the publications, the funding, the lab, the equipment, the reputation. And if someone like that says, "I'll supervise you," well, why wouldn't you say yes? Because you are not just accepting supervision. You are entering a 3 to 5 year long relationship. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The supervisor relationship is the single biggest variable in whether your PhD is energizing, tolerable, or downright psychologically draining. Yes, they are betting funding, time, and reputation on you, but you are betting your time, your reputation, your career trajectory, and your mental health. This is not a casual decision. This is a leveraged decision, and most applicants make it from a position of insecurity. So in this video, we're going to break down the building blocks of a sustainable supervisor relationship. We'll define your deal breakers, your red flags, your nice to haves, and what you might be willing to gamble on. Because some risks are strategic, others are just reckless. And the final question I'm going to give you, that one overrides all the others. Before I applied to a PhD, I didn't really know many people who had done a PhD, but the ones who had all said the same thing. Your supervisor will make or break your experience. At the time, that sounded dramatic. Now that I'm doing my PhD, I understand exactly what they mean. I'm incredibly glad I asked difficult questions early, because I've also seen what happens when people don't. And strangely, almost nobody talks about this before you start. Here's how we're going to approach this. I'm going to give you 5 questions. For each one, you need to decide, is this a deal breaker, a red flag, a nice to have, or something you're willing to gamble on? And more importantly, which answers do you need before you commit? And which are you comfortable discovering later on? Because uncertainty is unavoidable, but blind gambling is optional. Let's start with the most misunderstood dynamic. Question 1, hands off or micromanager? Does your supervisor operate with autonomy or control? Now flip it. Do you thrive with independence, or do you need structure, feedback, regular check-ins? Here's the trap. People often choose a supervisor based on prestige, but compatibility beats prestige over 3 to 5 years. A hands-off supervisor can feel liberating or neglectful. A micromanager can feel supportive or suffocating. The question isn't what are they like, it's what are you like under pressure? And that leads to the question most applicants are too afraid to ask. Question 2, would their current PhD students choose them again? This is the closest thing you'll get to insider trading. Talk to their students privately, not in front of the supervisor. Ask them, if you were starting again, would you choose them? Or would you work with them again in the future? Watch the hesitation, watch the body language. You'll learn more in 10 minutes of honest conversation than in 10 hours of reading their CVs. Because publications don't tell you about responsiveness, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, or supporting during failure. And failure will happen. And if your supervisor doesn't suggest that you should speak to their current PhD students, that's also a bit of a red flag. Now let's talk about trajectory, because that matters more than people realize. Question 3, what is their research trajectory? Are they early career and hungry, mid-career and expanding, or late career and coasting? Are they desperately applying for grants, or so established that doors open automatically? Here's the trade-off. A big name can open doors, but a rising name might invest more in you. Someone coasting might be hands-off, and someone building might be intense. There is no universal right answer, it's what's right for you. And now we get tactical. Question 4, are they truly the best person for your idea? And I mean best. Not available, not good enough, not they said yes, best. If there is someone significantly better aligned with your specific proposal and your supervisor doesn't acknowledge that, that tells you something. Strong supervisors are secure enough to redirect you if needed, because your success reflects on them. So ask yourself, if you remove convenience from the equation, are they still the optimal fit? And now the most important question, the one that overrides logic and rational thinking. Question 5, most importantly, do you trust them? When you speak to them, do you feel heard? Do you feel respected? Do you feel psychologically safe asking stupid questions? Because I can tell you from my experience, you will ask stupid questions. You will show them unfinished drafts, half-formed ideas, failed experiments, and if the vibe feels off now, it will only amplify under stress. Choosing a supervisor is not about impressiveness, it's about alignment. Some variables you can gamble on, others you absolutely should not. Because once you start, switching supervisors is possible, but it's painful. So do your homework, ask uncomfortable questions, and remember, they are not doing you a favor. This is a mutual bet. Make sure it's one you're willing to live with for the next 5 years.